Hello, November 29th workout. After your warm up, you're gonna do an activation of 3 rounds, 30 seconds each. So on a timer, it would be EMOM every 30 seconds for 4.5 minutes. We're gonna do the forearm side plank. So on my forearm, on my knee, I'm gonna lift up into side plank. My top leg is straight and it goes as high as it can. This arm goes as high as it can, so I'm pushing away from the ground. I'm reaching towards the ceiling. My bottom knee is pushing down, my top leg's lifting up, and I'm gonna do 30 seconds on that side. Once the timer beeps, obviously there's about 5, maybe 8 seconds of transition time, and then go right to the other side. So again, really lifting up, really pushing into the floor, lifting up with this arm and pushing into the ground with that side. I know you can't see my head right now, but you can see the rest of my body. So it's that star plank, but my knee and my arm, my forearm are down, and you get a lot more glute that way. So you get a little bit of that low back protection, but a lot of that glute activation. So you're gonna do left and right, and then you're just gonna do an arch hold. So just that Superman position, laying on your belly. I'm gonna lift up my arms and legs. My arms are gonna reach out in front of me straight. My legs can squeeze together. You're just gonna hold for 30 seconds. When the timer beeps, go right back into your side plank. So 3 rounds of side plank and arch holds. Then the actual WOD is going to be 5 rounds, but really small reps. So we're just going to do 10 chair dips. I have 2 high stools. You might have a lower chair. If you have a lower chair, you might be on your knees. Your feet might be in front of you. They might be behind you. You might have them in a staggered stance. There's lots of different positions for the legs. You could do this on like 2 parallettes. But usually everybody has, 2 chairs of some sort. So if you absolutely had none of those things, push-ups would be a fine substitute here. So on the chair, my chairs are pretty close. I'm not touching, but I don't want them out here, all right? I'm gonna go on my tippy toes, and then I'm just gonna dip down and push back up. So my upper body sort of looks, if I was to put my body behind me, like I'm in a push-up. I've got a good 90-degree angle here, kind of like a little cricket, and my body did not go straight down. So I let my hips go back so that my chest is reaching towards the floor or angled to the floor, or if I was laying on a chair, it should look like that with my torso. My legs are on the floor, but I do want to try to use my arms as much as possible. Some options for that is just coming to your toes helps, or this is the hard part here. So when it gets easier, I can pick up my feet and do that last push from the top if you're having trouble. So a couple options. Coming to your toes should be enough. So just 10 of those, trying to put the weight to the upper body. And then we're gonna do a bow tie staggered stance deadlift. So if you have a light weight, this is a great option for your deadlifts, putting the weight higher up so it's further away from your hips, as opposed to being here, it's actually closer to my hips. So I'm actually putting it out here when I hold it like this. You can also hold it on the back. So if you have a heavy weight, you might just hold your dumbbell in your normal position for today. But again, if you have only a light weight, you're gonna do a staggered stance. So I'm going to put all my weight on my front leg. My back leg is just behind me on my toe. I did not step back and shift my weight back. I just prop my toe up, okay? Staggered stance deadlift, I'm pushing my hips back behind me. I'm staying in an arch the entire time. I didn't lose that. And I'm only coming to about parallel with the floor. You don't have to go any further down. If you have a heavier weight, maybe it looks like this, or maybe you can just do single arm. That's okay too. Let me show you from the other side. Do a different angle. So just on my tippy toe, the higher I am on my toe gets me to put less weight on that leg. So either single arm, and it usually makes sense to put in the opposite arm. This is the leg I'm working. I'm gonna put the weight here. It's also the leg is out of the way. Or bow tie, pushing the hips back. The bow tie position is also gonna really make your back fire up, as if you were laying on your belly and your back in that arch position. If you are feeling like you're rounding, it's either because you can't maintain the arch or possibly the weight is too heavy. Like I said, at home, you may not have really heavy weights, so putting it up here or on the upper back helps. Okay, you're gonna do 10 on the left, 10 on the right, and then you're gonna do Superman banana or arch hollow. So rolling from your belly to your back. The trick with this one is you're gonna try to not put your hands on the floor. So my feet are up, my hands are up. I'm gonna roll to my belly. Your hands can be like out here. It doesn't have to be like a perfect hollow. And then I'm gonna maybe rock a little bit to get back onto my back. When you're on your back, you can also bring your knees into your belly. Maybe I go the other way and then rock back. Usually, to make sure that you're doing both sides, I would start on your back and then roll to your belly on the left, belly on the right, or you can start on your belly and roll to your back, left, back, right. But that makes sure that you're getting both sides, okay? Every time, again, you come to your back, it's a nice idea to pull your knees into your chest and then roll back over. You might have to use your elbow. Maybe you can't get over and you have to use your hand a little bit. But the idea is that you're trying not to use those things. The other thing you're not doing is completely laying down. So this, and rolling over, and keeping your feet and hands and upper back on the floor. This is nothing. I'm just laying on the floor. Okay, so you're gonna do 10 of those. Every time you come back to your center, that counts. So if I'm on my back and I go to my belly and back, that's 1. Belly, back, that's 2, 3, 4. So every time you pull your knees in is when I would count reps on that one. That's the easiest. And then 10 skaters. If you haven't noticed, all the reps for today are 10 just to make it easy. So with the skater, I'm laterally jumping to one side. My leg goes behind me. Maybe you hover your leg or maybe it touches down. I just don't want you to put weight on it. I want you to try to stay a little more focused on that front leg. If you've got space and if you've got the ability to make that a really big jump, then I would do it. But it should be pretty good, left and right. So 1, 2, 3, all the way to 10. Just a little lateral movement, kind of fun. Just something to get the heart rate up before you go back to the chair dips, and you've got 5 rounds of that. Okay, that is your workout for November 29th.